Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the RRTG, otherwise known as the Random Road to Glory. This series where we spend no FIFA points, but also use no players from the top 9 nations or top 5 leagues. Aside from the man the very club is named after, Carl Jenkinson. I don't want to relive it, but for the sake of this series, a quick recap last time out. It was a disaster, with a capital D. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong as we fell off a cliff towards the back end of FUT Champs, losing essentially every game that mattered and throwing away our best chance at 14 wins yet. However, that was then, and this is now. As I'll tell you one thing for free, we're back and we're ready to do it all over again. Mum, she didn't raise a quitter. I appreciate there's been a fair bit of FUT Champs content lately, but I can't stop and I won't stop until we finally crack that 14 win milestone. First though, we've actually got to qualify for the damn thing, so that's what we're going to be doing to kick things off today. Before that though, a quick catch up on where we're at as a team, and to say I've been putting in work is an understatement. This week we are coming in bigger and better than ever, as it's another Elite 1 in squad battles and more evos than you can shake a stick at. Mahrez, done. Vela, done. Sabari and Tolkien, not quite done, but we're getting there, and that's the most important thing. All in all, this is how it leaves the team going into the weekend. Aside from the upgrades, no major changes to speak of. I've decided on Mahrez over Vela for the right mid spot. Both of them are quality, but the Algerian, he just plays smooth as silk. Other than that, yet to actually have a proper run out with the new look team, so excited to see what they're made of. Won't have to wait long for that though, as like I said earlier, first up on the agenda is qualifiers. So back at it again. Last weekend we made a big song and dance over going 10-0 just to cack the bed when it really mattered. So this time, we're not faffing about, just getting the job done and keeping it pushing. This bloke, he certainly got that memo, as it's Mahrez to put us one up early in the first half, and that was all it took. Don't get much more efficient than that. Game 2, and if every match could just be like that last one, that would be just delightful, thanks. My wish was certainly not granted though, as of course it'd be none other than Mbappe to put the first bump in our road. Fortunately, Johnston was quickly there to smooth things back out straight from kickoff, and I think he's had a few one-to-ones with Louis, finishing like that from a defender. It's a great strike from the Canadian to get us back into it. One goal apiece, and we are not even 20 minutes in, so I think you can already tell what kind of game this is going to be, as it's Eusebio to give him back the lead before Hernandez gets a Saul square just before the half. Not sure what's happened after this, clearly swapped out their shooting boots at the break, because from a goal fest, all of a sudden neither of us could bag for love nor money. Unfortunately, Keepman must have found us as we went in for extra time, as at 2-2 and 108 minutes in, Zico finally manages to break the deadlock and give us our first loss of the day. Obviously not great, but I weren't too concerned. Like I said earlier, we're not here to tally up the wins or go invincible, we're here to qualify and get a job done. Mahrez, he clearly took that instruction personally, as less than 10 minutes in, it's the Algerian to get himself on the scoreboard. I go to bed at night and dream about this man's left peg. It's honestly something else. That sounds slightly strange now I've said it out loud, but regardless, he weren't done there. Still early in the first half, it's Riyad again to slip Louis through. The Mexican turns on a dime to return the favour. Top bins, 2-0, and that is all she wrote. Game 4, it may have taken me a second, but we're finally starting to gel with this new squad, starting to click. Saying that, weren't the best start in this one. Not great defending from myself, but Mendy, anywhere but there, please. Fortunately, down the other end, our forwards are in the mood to bail us out. I sound like a broken record at this point, as it's Mahrez again to kick things off. It gives me Iron Robin vibes. This bloke, you know that left foot is coming. Stopping it though, whole different kettle of fish. Speaking of left foot, it's Torres to use his to put us 2-1 up, and that was enough adversity for this fella. He called it a day immediately. On to the next one. Only one more win needed to qualify. Way Torres was playing would only need one game too. It's the Uruguayan to fake out his marker with the slowest Berber spin since the dawn of man. Can't complain with those results though. Puts it top corner to get us 1-0 up. Not long later, and it's a cult hero at this team to double the lead. At 6'6", it must be difficult to find any space in the area. Sergey though, he could find a yard in a phone booth, slipped through by the Mexican, levers it past the GK and secures us FUT Champs qualification. So, like I said at the start, it was an in and out job as we get ourselves the 4 wins needed to play this weekend. I was going to keep the clock ticking, keep momentum running and head straight into the big time. However, something even bigger happened to cross my path. It's a man that hasn't played much football lately, a man that's been patiently waiting in the wings, just preparing for that call up. But with this Evo, that time might be coming sooner rather than later. Generous goal scorer, a decent evolution, on the surface nothing too special. That is, until you put this man in it. It's Big Brout to get himself the big upgrade. Look at those stats, look at him. Already got 99 jumping, 99 strength, I bet we had 91 acceleration, 94 sprint speed to that package. The man, he is a freak. Small issue in that you need a PhD to figure out how to work him into the squad, but Super Sub will more than do for the time being. And for what we've got coming up, we're going to be needing him, as it is time, ladies and gentlemen. Last episode was titled Foot Champs Redemption, but today is when we really put our mark in the sand, put the double RTG on the map. It all starts now. Here we go. All the pain, all the frustration of last weekend, gone. It is a fresh start for the gents and an even quicker one on the field. 8 minutes in and it's Louis to kick us off. The Mexican, he is just inevitable at this point. Breaks away from his man and tucks this one home. From one icon to another, however, it is Henri to waste no time down the other end and square us up. El Yamit clearly forgot to have his Weetabix this morning. Gets absolutely little mad by the Frenchman as he tucks it away. 2 goals in less than 10 minutes of football, a mildly alarming way to start the weekend. With Hernandez in the squad though, I had nothing to worry about. It's El Yamit to right his wrongs of earlier in the half, wins the ball back high, threads through Torres, who finds our magical Mexican in the area. And I don't need to commentate on the next bit, you know what's coming, 2-1. He weren't done there though, taking a piss with this next one. He had us all with that first strike. He knew what he was doing though. 1-2 off the post to make it 3. Give him the hat-trick and gets our first win of the weekend. Game 2, and if we're finishing like that, we're going to be in for a great 20 games. Early doors in this one though, and it's Mia Ham to be the clinical one. Takes it on at first to put us 1-0 down. Would be nice if we could have had some of that swing our way, missing chances left, right and centre at the start of this one. It happens, you can't win them all. No one told Sheva that though, finds himself a yard as we finally get one to go in and bring ourselves even. It was like the lads realised, oh, is that how you do it? As after this, we went on a tear. Went from avoiding the back of the net like the plague to not leaving the damn thing alone. Scoring 3 goals in 30 minutes of football and giving us win number 2. Next game, and while we had trouble scoring at the start of last match, I had a little plan for this one. I might not know many things, but one thing I am certain of is if you need a goal, there's only one man you need to call, and that is Louis Hernandez. 1-on-1 with the keeper, may as well be a tap-in for this bloke. Tucks it inside post to give us the early advantage. He was genuinely on a different planet to start this weekend. First he's passed to himself off the goalpost, now he's nicking it off the centre half. They all count the same though, 2-0. 20th minute and finally someone else manages to get a look in as it's Maris to call this one home and make it 3 before bagging his brace not long later. 4 goals unanswered and you don't need to be a brain surgeon to guess how this one ended. Game 4 and the last few have been a bit of a walk in the park for the gents, not gonna lie. This time out though, we had a bit of a game on our hands. Didn't make the best start to it either as it's Richarlison to put us down just 7 minutes in. I wasn't too concerned the way we were scoring though. Hernandez has been getting all the plaudits in that area and rightly so. But I must say Riyadh, he is certainly not far behind. The Algerian is playing some quality football. Manages to draw us level here, holding off half his bloody back line. He weren't done there though. Kanate, he's a big fella. Clearly not big enough though, as it's Riyadh to let him know the real top dog is. Keeps him at bay yet again to give us our first lead of the game. Second 45, and given it had been a whole half without one, you know Louis was eventually going to put his name in the hat. Takes it round the keeper, freezes the game. I assume just to give us a moment to appreciate his excellence, and taps it into an open net. 3-1, and while in real life a 2-goal cushion is usually enough, in FIFA I like to have at least 3 to feel any type of security. I mean, we all know what this game's like. In this one though, we'd have to do with just the one as Mbappe manages to claw one back not long after. Up to this point it had been goals, 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 but for the rest of this half it was our backline's turn to take the main stage. Told the forwards, just sit this one out fellas, we got this, as they put on a defensive masterclass, kept him quiet as a mouse for the rest of the game. He couldn't get a shot off, let alone a goal, as we saw this one out for win number 4. Final game of these highlights and a chance to go invincible in the early stages of our weekend. Rough team to try and do it against. I got a few players on my hate watch list, you know the usual, Mbappe, Van Dijk. I tell you what though, this team of the year Messi in this new Timo Werner, they are quietly creeping up the list. They are an absolute nightmare to play against. We managed to keep them quiet for the first 12 minutes of this one, which was also all the time Torres needed to bag. Have a look at that for a touch to get round his man. It's absolutely quality from the Uruguayan to get our first of the match. Next up was a man that's been moved out to left wing in our new formation. Still right amongst the goals though, is Sheva just to roll this one past the keeper and make it 2-0. This one, it was by no means over though. Those players are highlighted at the start. They had a word or two to add before this one was finished. I could honestly drop my boot in a pint of Gorilla Glue and I'd still be easier to tackle than Team of the Year Messi. He is a joke. Regardless, it's Lionel to get back into it with this strike. After that goal, it would have been easy to get a bit nervous, a bit shaky. I don't know what it is though, there's something a little different in the air this time around. Suppose it certainly helps when our Mexicans scoring for fun. Early in the second half, it's Louis yet again to get on the score sheet. Just the most delicate of finishes to get us the 2-goal lead, get us the win, and kick off our weekend at 5-0. So, there it is, 5 wins, 0 losses. Our best ever start to a weekend. I'm not about to fall into the same trap though. Last weekend we started hot and finished colder than my ex. Not doing that again, in more ways than one. We take it for what it is, and that's just a great way to kick things off. Whether or not we can convert it into 14 wins, we will see next episode. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever it is you are doing. And as always, I hope to see you next time.